Hello, hi guys, welcome back. We are going to continue our saga. Alright, fixing the light. Okay, so just let me share my screen where we had left off. We will continue from there. So, yeah. In the previous design, we had discussed about this flow, like what is saga and what is E-seed. E-seed is kind of for single DB, single microservices. So we are not going to cover that now. So we are here on Saga, very long story, a long series of events. So here you can see the diagram, what we are doing. We have created 5 microservices and inside them there is Kafka. Okay, so Kafka topics are there and we are trying to access it via, you can see Postman or Swagger we can use. I have used Swagger. I will show you what, I will show you also these things. And what is happening, just suppose that there is a kind of a user who is on an online store, maybe eBay, Amazon.com, e-commerce, any e-commerce website, and he uh, from the cart he added some items in the cart and then he starts to check out that item, right? So once that user picks the item and checks out, then an order is created, right? So different events are, you can see here different events are there. So each service would create some events, okay? And once order, when cart service basically checked out, order is created, and after that if order is created, it would redirect to the payment gateway, and there we pay some money, and after that once we pay, then order is finally, basically inventory is kind of, if there are some items, so inventory items are kind of I would say saved, actually not saved, the exact word is uh, what we can say, reserved, actually reserved, yeah. So from inventory item, that item is reserved actually, and once payment is successful, order becomes successful, and then user, you can see from payment to notification, user notification is created, and then it sends back to the users, maybe Gmail, email, Outlook, whatever it is there. So user again gets the notification like, oh, I have got this, you have successfully placed an item, order ID, whatever you get. So some order ID would be there attached with that. Cool. So now I wanted to show you the code. So we are dealing with the choreography. Saga choreography. There are two types which we have discussed. If I have not discussed, I can tell you that there are two types. One is choreography, and another is orchestrator. So in choreography, what happens? We have a series of events, right? Just like Saga actually has, as the name suggests. So choreography also has the, since it is part of this saga, so it also has series of events. But here there is no any. You can see one service is talking to other service via some Kafka events, right? Via events actually. Here at each place, after each microservice passes request, suppose if request from the postman passes from user service, it would get order user created, something like that, events. So each, at each step we are getting some events, we are creating some events. So output of one microservice, the event, actually the output event would be the input event for the next service, and that would be kind of trigger. Okay, so once the event is published in the Kafka, the consumer, which is here in the cart service, would check for the event, like if this event is produced or not. If that event is produced, it will become active and start its own service. Some services would be written and would do that. Okay, so I will, let's move to the code now. Each boxes are kind of, you can see each boxes are here, and corresponding code is very dangerous. So let me show you. uh, this is our IntelliJ from Spring Boot initializer. I had created a lot of I would say uh, let me pull it down. Yeah, so here you can see I have created this Saga different microservices. Let me go to the diagram. First is user service. So you can see here we have a Spring Boot application, which is user service, and then card service, then order service. We can look here. Where is card service? Yeah, then order service, and then we have payment service and notification. So this is payment and notification. Cool. I have not here the community service. I can write, but I have not written. Cool. So till here this is the code, and if you can see everything, I could have opened it different, 5 different IntelliJ, but here I make the code to be modular. I created different modules actually here. So if you can see, here is the parent form. Do not touch this now. So this is your parent form. So here you can see I have created 5 modules. Okay, the binding is like this. So if you want to create separate 5 separate microservices, that would also be okay. Otherwise, modules we can wrap it in a single window of the IntelliJ. We can open this. So this is the way I have done this. So different modules, and then this. It can look very scary. Don't worry. I am not going to take you off. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Unmuted. Mm, if it is live, then you can tell me audio. Is it okay? Ah, not here, man. You were here. So yeah, I have these 5 modules. Okay, just all are Spring Boot application. Let me show the application file. You can see here, not this. Yeah, so you can see every application is kind of at the rate Spring Boot application. Okay, so you can create them in separately actually. And other than that, let me show one more so that you can see. This is our at the rate enable Spring Boot. Okay, a Spring Boot application. So every service similarly is kind of same Spring Boot application. Okay, and let me show you some events which we were discussing on the diagram. Where is Saga? Yeah, so there are, I told you like there should be from user service some event would be created, and then from card service some event would be created, and output of one would be output of the second or the next service. So that I want to show you. So let me show that. Where is my events? Actually it is not like everything is in one place. Yeah, maybe that Docker Compose cache or some things. Okay, first let me show my Docker Compose. Actually, every microservice is Dockerized. It is running in Docker. Do not worry. Do not see like everything is very dangerous. Code would be already on GitHub, so don't worry. These days, coding is not important. These days, concept is important, right? So I just want to show like this is in Docker and all the services if you can see running. There is notification service, all services, and I have an API gateway which is running on different port. And then we have Postgres and Zookeeper also for Kafka, and Kafka is here already. Okay, so these things are up and running. And let me show you where serve Saga services. Yeah, I cannot here. I don't want to touch here. Yeah. So here you just look what are the ports, important ports. Like Postgres is running on 5432. Our Zookeeper is running on 2181, and then Kafka is running on 9092, and then user service is running on 80. And what is this? If you are getting confused, like what is this 8080? It is kind of forwarding port. So this port is the Docker container port, and the second one, which is on the right, is our localhost desktop port, on which the same port is opened in our localhost, so we can access the Docker container at this port. It is kind of port forwarding, if you can understand. And here you can see our card service is running on 8081 in Docker container also, and also on the it would be accessible on our system via on the same port. And out of service 8082. Okay, and payment service 8080. Just remember, like it is just like accounting from starting from 8080. User service 8080, card service is 81, 82 is order service, 83 is payment service, 84 is notification, and 85 is API gateway. So the same things are running here in the Swagger. You can see this is our 8080 user controller, right? There are some methods which I have written. I don't want to go into that detail. Just wanted to show you the APIs. You can have at least some idea like what APIs are there in user controller. So just in user we have user details, nothing more. CRUD related operations are there. In card controller we are creating card. Okay, some item, putting some items into the cart. So you can see here we have post API, API slash cards, and user ID, and then some items are there, right? So just we are posting that. You can try it out. Four things you need to pass it, and then that will be there. And then we have order control running on 8082, and payment controller. You can see both are GET APIs. One brings the payments, and another is kind of handling the payment on the basis of payment ID. There would be some changes, don't worry. I'll make it in. It is a long project actually. I would make some videos also maybe later, but since I was working on it, so I thought to come live just to show these endpoints, and how the structure is, project structure is here. Code is just like these days, AI things are there, right? So you need to code. Coding is kind of, I would say, not needed by us right now, which is kind of, um, I would say, चिंताजनक को क्या बोलते हैं अंग्रेजी में, worrisome, right? तो वैसा कुछ है. तो हमें बेसिकली वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन कॉन्सेप्ट। अभी कॉन्सेप्ट समझेंगे हम कि सागा कैसे फ्लो कर रहा है। द सेम डायग्राम विच वी हैव सो वी आर गोइंग टू सी। ओके, माइक्रो सर्विसेज आर रनिंग एंड देन IntelliJ is not behaving properly. So yeah, what we till here what we covered, and I told you which ports are running. So in the diagram, if I can write, this is running on save change kar lo bhai, 080. It is running on not like this. Let me write it inside this. Okay, it is running on A0. So yeah, this looks good. Okay, and then we can see what are okay. 081 and then A082, A083 and A084. And now what is happening, we have an API gateway actually. So what I can do, let me put it some farther, a little bit farther to the left. Okay, again. Okay, now this request is not directly connecting to the user service what we have. We can delete this one for now and redirect. Let me have a box actually. Just copy this one, command V. We have a API gateway. Okay. So what will happen? API gateway is here, which is running on 8085. And now this postman request, suppose I have some curl URL, if you hit, so our API request, you can see it is coming here. Okay, and now each microservices, whatever request would come direct, maybe via exchange, if you use REST template or web client dot uh, basically exchange or get object or get forwarded, something like that. If you are intercommunicating from one microservice to another microservice, the request won't directly, we won't be sending directly from this to this, right? So in that scenario, what would happen? Everyone will talk with the API gateway. Okay, so if API gateway would communicate, like suppose there is some request related to maybe user. So if it sees some slash user, it will redirect it to the user service. If it sees some URL related to cart, then it will send to the kind of where is API gateway configuration. Look at this one, not this, not this, not this. Cool. So look at this file. Here you can see we have a Spring Cloud. Our server port is running. This API gateway port is at 0.5, and you can see this kind of Spring Cloud gateway, and then routes. What are the routes? If it sees, you can see ID is user service, so URL is 8080, and then predicates slash path slash user slash star star. Okay, so whatever request with slash user comes, it will redirect to the user service. Okay, and you can see rewrite path slash user slash segment. Some segments after question mark you pass some queries, maybe user ID, something like that. Then it is also going to redirect to the user service. Cool. And if it gets some slash API slash users with this request, it is also going to kind of forward that. And here you can see rewrite path is actually for changing the path from open world to microservices world. Okay, so there are two scenarios. Suppose if this post via postman, if we want to access this user service directly, then what would be the URL? The URL would be slash users. Okay, it would be slash users and then some user ID. Suppose I pass slash users. Okay, but for microservices from API gateways, what would happen from API gateway, it is going to rewrite the path, and internally the path is slash API slash users. So let me show that. If I can show you in the users service, here it is. Here, look here. In the user service, if you see, our controller is under package slash API slash user controller. The route, look at the route, it is slash API slash users. So all the microservices endpoint is starting, if you can see, with API. Let me show one more service so that you can get confirmed. Let me open this notification and let me see. So you can see slash API slash notification. Okay, so we are not directly going to we are not exposing our actual path, which is in microservices, how microservices intercommunicating within. So slash API, this prefix is there while calling the different microservices. But when we are going to directly call from the outside of the microservices world, like from outside of the API gateway, then what it is going to do, we have it is accepting the request on slash users. So actual path is slash API slash users. You saw in the controller the exact API endpoint is this one, slash API, then the same path. And here you can uh, from the outside, if from Postman, if you pass slash API slash users, it will not reach to the API gateway. But if you pass slash users, then it is API gateway is going to accept that one and going to basically rewrite the path, and the path would, it will append slash API, okay, before the same, before the URL. So from Postman to API gateway, I hope you got it. The URL is different, and after API gateway, it adds this API. So it is kind of, you can say, abstraction of the APIs. We are securing our actual endpoints directly to be directly not reachable from the outside, maybe from the client. Actually, client would be browser, something like that, mobiles, anything. So this is the rewrite path. Actually, it is rewriting the path. I hope you got it. So here, let me search slash user. Okay, and then what it is going to do, it is going to redirect this to API slash user. Okay, so this is internal thing now, because after rewrite it changed the URL. For outer world it is slash user. So let me show you in the Postman, or sorry, Swagger also, you can see that thing. Oh, actually it is not Swagger, it is directly exposing actually. Since we are developers, we know like our Swagger endpoint is there, so that's why it is API slash user, because it is the internal thing to parallel to the controller. It is directly picking from the controller. So slash API slash user. Because for others, for client, if there are, suppose some clients which are which want to access this API slash users, they this service, they are not going to directly call this. This would not be, they won't be aware of this, like this endpoint like API slash users is there. Okay, they only know what the part of the API gateway. If you can see, this is the API gateway actuator health. You can see API gateway is running, status is up. So they know the path, like what is they know the URL to the API gateway. Okay, the other endpoint won't be exposed. They only access from localhost 8080. Suppose they want to access our API slash users, so basically this won't be available to them. What would be available to them? It would be slash users in API gateway 8085. Then only they would be able to connect with our service. Okay, so this is the main scenario. And don't worry about other things. This is simple. The configuration is repeated, just the names are changing. For all the microservices, different microservices, we have the same kind of configuration. Okay, and here is Swagger endpoint. If you can see, we have Spring Dot, Swagger UI, service URLs, name URL, same thing. So we can see the Swagger endpoint also, and each one has their separate forms, and their separate forms simply we have Kafka, Eureka client. You can see if I get rid of Spring Cloud, these things are there. Okay, so no need to worry. The code is there. Just I wanted to show the main concepts actually. Okay, so yeah, this is I think till here it is good for today's session I think, because I wanted to show you the like how we convert from this architectural diagram to the code. So till here we have everything. Docker and Kafka actually. Okay, let me show that also. This DB I have not written. Every service is having kind of shared DB. Okay, so let me create a DB with diagram shares. Yeah, I have Postgres. Yeah, so just understand like this is our DB, and every service is kind of consuming from this DB. Okay, so you can imagine the arrows just like this. You can write a lot of multiple arrows, something like this. Every service is using this one. Not Java. ओके सो ये वाला थोड़ा सा अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, क्रॉस नहीं कर रहा है एक दूसरे को ना, ठीक। ये कैसे ठीक। So this is our Postgres DB. Everything is Dockerized. Don't worry. So this is kind of the diagram we have here. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Yeah. So here you can see we have API gateway, we have service, then events are created and consumed just like that. We have Postgres. So those codes we can discuss in some other video, some other live actually. I have these codes here only, everything is here. Just I don't have time to show you right now because I have some tasks to do. Okay, so these things are written here. Don't worry, we have everything here. This notification. Let me show some users, not user card certificate, order service or card service will be better, right? Yeah. So here you can see I have some service logic. I want to just show you the service. Yeah. Here you can see simply we are using JDBC for database, Kafka for Kafka topics, and then object mappers are there. And the Saga control service, everything is here. Don't worry, don't look into that. We have some codes. Don't look at this यार इतना कौन सा वाला important है बस वो just look at the method name on card checkout. Okay, just look at the method name on card checkout. What would happen? Some event would be created, and this is this event created. Okay, and then order created. You can see order topic. We have different topic name. We have order created. Okay, similarly we have payment completed. These kind of things are there. Okay, different events on one event, just like I said one event is input, one output of one microservice. Let me share the screen. I think it is missed. So I hope now screen is shared. So what I was telling, like if you can see the events here, payment completed, and then other services are there, like where is payment failed. So these are the different kind of events. If you can see order created, actually it is the topic name, but yeah, the same name is also for the event. We can take it. And then let me open the payment service. Not this one, just I want to show you service, nothing more. Similar things are here also. And then yeah, here you can see the event is order created. This is the actual topic name, but similar name is also here. Order created, it is the status, success status actually. So yeah, payment completed, this I wanted to see, but it is the same actually. The topic name, these are not the event names. Order ID, these are the payment records, so don't look into that. So I wanted to show you the different actually events, okay. And similarly we have every microservice, and there are some critical scenarios, like if payment failed, then how we are going to handle that, everything, okay. So let me just show you if I can open this Postgres. Mhm. Not this I wanted easy admin actually. Yeah. And in PZ admin we can see our, actually I don't show you our application config, right? So yeah, we have our application config for API gateway. I think I have taken you through this API, sorry, YML file. Now I wanted to show you this DB related thing. Yeah, here you can see our DB name is car DB, which is running on 5432 DB server. Okay, and here you can see Kafka related steps are there, configuration, nothing more. Right now I cannot show you Kafka. I have to log into the console. Just if I can show you, I can create some user ID. Let's try actually from this plane. Swagger, from Swagger you can use, Postman also we can use, but let's try here from users. Let's see, try it out. Let's see, I want to give some name. Suppose what I can give, Adam, and string email ID. Let me give my personal email ID. Okay. Let me give an Gmail ID. Okay. Gmail.com, and also the user is Nukkar. This one's good. Now once we hit, if everything seems good, then user should be created. Okay. It's taking a lot of time. Let's see if our Docker Postgres is running or not. So what we can do here, you can see it's actually slow, but before configuring here, what we have to do, we have to add the server here. I have added. You have to add all the username, DB, password for Postgres. Okay. And if you can see, this is our users table. First, let me show you the DB. We were not in user DB. Our DB name was, what was the name of the DB? Okay, we have separate DBs separate DBs for each microservice. I told you like in the diagram, now it is mistake. Actually, all errors to the same DB I have shown it. Actually, 5 different microservices are having their own DBs. It is not the shared one. Just let me copy it 5 times. Uh, Command C, Command V. Okay. 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 Yeah, now you understand, like every service is having their own database. Forget the errors. Okay, so here we have, actually I should have shown you the application of properties also, so that you could understand, like this is the cart DB. Okay, for cart service I shown you only one microservice, that's why the problem is here. Here you can see we have not notification is different thing, but yeah, we have the different DB for it also. Everything has separate DB, every microservices. Okay, so let's go to the user DB. We created, we hit API services user details on Swagger. Where is Swagger? This one, right? So you can see success 201 undocumented response code. Yeah, we got our successful response. So one user with Nukkar coder and email ID is nukkarcoder@gmail.com. It is created. So let's check, verify in the database user DB, user table. One entry should be there at least, Nukkar code. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So our this microservice user service is working fine, very fine actually. Okay, now 8081, what we have, some now we have logged in, just like suppose in the diagram I told, suppose in Saga some user is there having, suppose we are on Amazon, maybe Amazon. Okay, Amazon app, actually our website, and then user is logged in. Okay, now once he logged in, he would go for shopping, some items he would add into his cart. Okay, so now we are in that phase, so let's add some cart items. So product ID, suppose I have some product ID, suppose string product name, suppose I want some shaving cream. Okay, क्वांटिटी एक ही काफ़ी है। शेविंग क्रीम कितने रुपए का आता होगा? 200 rupees. Okay, so let's execute this one. User ID, the following pulse field is not provided. कौन सा छूट गया है? अच्छा, user ID, oh my god, it is not 1 2 3 4. We have, it's decimal. Okay, so just let me pass the user ID, which is very, you can see it is kind of a UID. Just execute this user ID, and in the card service or card DB there should be an entry, right, with the product shaving cream and everything. Hello, Moto. And then only we are going to do, and then we are going to see that. So just let me have this card DB. Yeah, this one is here. Inside schemas, just go to the public one, and then tables. We have cart. You can see cart and cart items both are there. Just let me open this one. Cart items. Cool. So you can see one is open. This item is open with the cart ID is this one. Actually, what I have done, one mistake I have done actually. Okay, not a problem. Let me see it. This open. Let me check the cart item. Saving cream I want to save. Hmm, awesome. Here you can see we have our shaving cream. Okay, so it is there in the database, which is perfect. Now, okay, let's go for order. Now, suppose we are on the website, Amazon website, we have added some item in the cart, and now we click on the checkout button. Okay, just purchase button or buy button. Now we are on that situation, and when we will do it, there should be some, not like this. Order would be created, right? Okay, so order is already created. It is not, we are not manually doing that. So just let's show there is order table, Canada, easy and when so now let's check the order DB. Okay, here we can see order DB schemas perfect, and then we have order DB. Let me open this order table. If you can see, we have three tables. One is Saga log, one is order table. Okay, this is for the Rahul actually, not us. Order items. Let me see the order items. If you can see banana, okay, it is not coming. So order is somewhere it is failing. I will look into that because there's no entry in the order table. Okay, so suppose API slash orders, and then we have API payments, some payment ID if we want to get. Actually, let me check just existing ones also so that we can verify if the service is coming or not. So let's check for API. Yeah, let's see here. We have this order ID. Let me just copy and paste and check if we get this detail or not for this. I'll just try it out. Okay, it is for all the orders, not the particular order. Try it out. You can see if we get CORS, actually CORS error it is showing. Okay, Okay, URS. Let me check if I can get this one. Okay, so I have to enable CORS for microservices communication directly. It is not going to do that. Let me use this 8085. There won't be any, right? That's why this is happening. It's okay. From the postman, if I can hit. Just I want to check the order service. Most of the things are done already. Order service, order service, order service. Oh, order service is done. Then make it working. Otherwise, still here I think we are good. What we have texture first, Postgres, and then let me check orders to cancel it. Actually, order service is not working, so no need of that is done. Yeah. The payment service and notification service. Okay, the things are there. It will take time. Actually, it is going to be 7 o'clock. So I would just stop this. Okay, so we covered these things and we can this architecture diagram for Saga Choreography and corresponding components we created like Kafka and then Postgres, every Docker image. It is now running in a container. Okay, and Swagger endpoints, you can see all the Swagger endpoints are here. So we tested for two services, user service and core service in the DB, and the data was there. Okay, in the DB, and all the data was there. And now till order service, we will continue later. Next slide, maybe. That's all, guys. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a great day. Stay tuned. I'm just closing the live now. First, let us stop sharing. Cool. And just ending the stream. Yeah, it's been around 1 hour, so it's good.